the privilege and honor to be sitting with Jane and Heather today to talk about wellness and makeup and all these wonderful topics that we're passionate about. So I have a few questions that I prepared for both of you, and we can go through those, and then I just love to, at the end, just feel free to share your thoughts about wellness in general.
We're sharing, we can do it.
We are going to share. I don't think it's going to be a problem. So, question number one. So here we are in the Berkshires. So how has living in the Berkshires affected the way that you think about wellness? Because you were born here, you're a transplant here. How has that affected your wellness kind of thoughts and philosophy?
Well, I'll start by saying I know that people who are Berkshire people, we care about the environment, we care about nature. And so when you really have the privilege of living in such a beautiful place, and I just came from a big tour of California, and there are some of the most spectacular places in the world in Northern California. But I can tell you, not many are second to the Berkshires. You know what I mean? The Berkshires aren't many second to many. It's just as beautiful here as it is anywhere. I mean, we live in such a treasure, literally, it's such a treasure. And so when you come from a place of beauty, you can't help but want to promote natural beauty. And so I think that was natural for me growing up. I didn't recognize it until later in life, that nature really is where it's at. And then Jane coming here and building an amazing business here, right here in the Berkshires. I mean, you probably feel about the same.
Well, I do, because when you're surrounded by beauty, but we're also surrounded by organic farms. So you can get the best of everything. I was at the farmer's market this morning, and I bought the most amazing berries, strawberries that you just taste the way they used to in England.
Right.
There were cheeses, vegetable. It felt, and there were 1,200 people there.
Wow, amazing.
And these were people that really wanted to incorporate health in every way, from what they put in their bodies to what they see. It's very important what we surround ourselves with. Our
So
friends, what we see when we look out of the window, all of that contributes to overall health. And the Berkshires is such a microcosm of all of that. So it's totally inspiring every day.
It really, I love what you said about the farmers market. It's just so true, because you can eat a strawberry, and if it's not organic, it doesn't have any nutrients in it at all. It doesn't have any of the good things in
Plus,
it.
it's the first on the list of pesticides.
That's right. There's
Next
the
is
dirty
spinach.
dozen.
Next is
That's
spinach.
right. So there are certain things that you have to buy. If you can't, if you feel like you just in your purse strings, you can't buy all organic. There is something called the Dirty Dozen, and you should look at that and Google it. It is the 12 that you must buy organic because of those things. So we can talk about that for hours and hours. But the problem is inflammation, and so when you're polluting your body with things that aren't good for it, it inflames. Its reaction,
Right.
Its fight syndrome is to inflame, and it's the cause of the root of so many problems. Not only in the health and what we're feeding our body, but what we're putting on our skin, right? As our largest organism. You were just telling me you see, eczema and rosacea, but you're helping people fix that.
Yes, we are. Yeah. What's your next question?
Actually, that's a good segue to the next question. So my next question is, was there a specific moment in either of your lives where you realized you needed to treat your skin better and focus on your health? And what steps did you take to address that?
Well, I was born with good skin from my English heritage. I never saw the sun, so that was helpful. Just a lot of grain, and that helped. But it really wasn't until I came to New York that I started to see changes, and I think it came from environmental pollutants. Now, of course, we're invaded by blue light from when I was doing this or being television. And there was one day in New York, I said, my God, my skin has never looked like this. I have to do something about it. And that was when I started to see, because I was in the entertainment world, see actors, actresses, models struggling to get their skins healthy because they were, better than anybody. They pile the makeup on, get the job done, and then the actors were running off the set. Take this off me as quickly as you can. This is not a good thing. So let's see if we can do something.
The aha moment.
That was the aha moment.
And my aha moment came from the need. So she was the cure, right? And I had the need as I got into my late 40s and my mid 40s even really. And I was doing a lot of television and I was piled on the makeup. All of a sudden I had acne for the first time in my life, like adult acne, because these clogging products on my skin. So I went to more chemical, like as a cure, and it was the worst. So that I went from almost the extreme of all to nothing. And I said to Jane, I wasn't wearing any makeup, so I wasn't protecting myself from SPF. And then with the fine lines, makeup sinking in and making them more extreme. The more makeup I had on, the older I looked. So I wanted to.
That's not a good thing.
And it's not a good thing. And I was like, so I went from the extreme from nothing, and then I found Jane Iredale makeup, which really truly is such a enhancer. It really is an enhancer. It just finishes beautifully. It never sits in, and you use all things that are good for you and good for your skin. So when you're putting it on, you're actually doing good for your skin. You're not covering.
It is your skincare makeup, which is a
skincare makeup.
registered mark of
That's
our brand.
which is a great, really. I'm a marketer, as you guys know, and when you just say what you do.
Right.
And we are the skincare makeup, and so I love that. And that's now I am using makeup again in a way where I feel good when I leave the home
Because it's an extension of your skin.
Right. And it doesn't, and you don't see the makeup, you see the beautiful.
Yes.
I think that's
oh shucks. I come around here often now just for that.
All right, so changing gears, we talked a little bit about sun. So you both spend a lot of time outside. You were just on this rock climbing adventure, and Jane spent mountains in Nepal. And you spend a lot of time in your gardens. So what do you think is the most important thing to do to protect your skin when you're out there in the elements? Everything.
Well, the number one, we're trying to get away from the phrase anti-aging now, because it does sound as if we're out there sort of fighting some monster, which of course nobody can ever fight. But the most important anti-aging thing you can do is sun protection. Because it is responsible for 80% of the signs of aging. That's right. And it's all these different rays bombarding. So what I do is I wear a hat, and I've got a hat that has an SPF 50.
Yes.
I wear our mineral sunscreen on my face because I don't like chemical stuff that runs, and I wear a long sleeve shirt.
Right.
Which also has an SPF.
Yes.
So what do you do?
Well, so I do kind of all of the above. I also think sometimes we've been so afraid of the sun, though. It's changed as we've gotten older.
That's right.
And so you do have to allow some of the good parts of nature and vitamin D in, but this is the big epic change, and this is what we learn. This is the beauty of science, natural science, right? People think there's no science behind it. My husband yesterday was talking to my kids, and he said, "Come on, I want to put suntan lotion on you." My daughter said, who's 11, "Why do you call it suntan lotion?"
Oh, that's interesting.
How interesting that changed, right? So that's what we called it in the 70s. It was suntan lotion. Now it's sunblock, right? So what it really is it's protection. You have to protect yourself. Too much of anything isn't good, but anything in a little bit of moderation is okay. So I use different products of yours when I'm going to go out to the beach than I do in every day. So I protect myself with a level of protection that I need at the time. So if I'm just driving with the sunroof off to Guido's Market, Fresh Marketplace here in New York, to Jane Iredale to pick up something, I'm okay with just sunglasses and a vitamin. So eye protection is very important. I think people forget the sunglasses are not just an accessory. I mean, they really are protection for your eyes. So I use eye protection, and I use a hat often. And I'm using your new lotion. After a certain amount of time, if it's been more than 15 minutes, I immediately put something on my skin.
Yeah,
if
so
I've
you
been
do
outside for more than
consciously
15
have a
minutes,
time when you don't wear anything so that you can actually get some benefit from the sun.
That's correct.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yes.
And we shouldn't just be slathering ourselves and never going out.
That's right.
There was a recent study about sunlight, in the daytime.
Yes.
And they found that people who sleep late and don't get as much daylight are more inclined to depression.
That's right.
Than people who are early risers and get more
Circadian rhythm.
So we do need that. And they say the first thing in the morning is to go out without glasses, but in the morning when it doesn't get too, it's not too hot, and just let the sun into the brain, because that triggers melanin.
Yes.
and that makes you sleep better.
That's right.
So it's not a question of just shielding yourself from everything. You do obviously need
That's right.
the
A little
benefits
bit.
of the
So it's the
sun.
protection when it gets too hot, when it gets too high, when it's been too long. If you know what you're doing, be prepared to protect yourself.
Yeah.
But you
But
can
make
still
sure
love the sun.
from
Carefully.
like 11 to 3, you're really
You're
Really
Yeah.
protect. Those are the difference.
So, two more questions. One is, I'll ask you first because it's your brand. What is the one Jane Iredale product that you could not live without?
Oh, the Pure Press base, because it's a foundation, powder, concealer, sunscreen, all in one. That, go every single day, and that's it.
And that's it. And so I've had many, because I'm a lip gloss and mascara girl, so like I never leave the house without lip. That's my thing. Like a little bit of eye, a little lip. That's it. And I was so anti, coverage that I really wasn't protecting or feeding my skin. So your new mineral foundation that I found, I want to name it the right thing, the liquid minerals. For me, because I'm doing, interviews or a lot of TV, it's kind of a go-to, perfect.
Because it's got hyaluronic acid in it.
That's right.
So you get all that moisture.
So I'm getting moisture, I'm getting pumping, I'm getting finishing and protection all in one product. So I really am in love with that.
Yeah. The hyaluronic acid become the it ingredient now. We've had it in that product for the last 15 years.
It's amazing. And so it's an old product that's new to me that I have found. And the other new one is your lemongrass, because boy, does it smell good.
Hand drink.
It's a hand drink and it has SPF in it, so I'm rubbing it right up my arm.
Yeah, they are.
Speaking of hands,
It's beautiful.
let's all admire our beautiful hands.
yes.
So another product that we are carrying in the Jane Iredale studio is Dazzle Dry, which is a natural nail polish.
Vegan, natural. no
Vegan,
chemicals.
natural. So what was it about Dazzle Dry that made you want to bring it into the studio? And then I'd like to hear a little bit more about your relationship with that company, because I know it goes back a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I met them at a trade show in the Caribbean, if you would believe it, and they had a booth right opposite us, and I'd seen me over there, and they said, and I was so impressed because it was founded by a woman, chemist. She took out all the nasties. There's no odor to it. It goes on like a dream, and it doesn't smell, and it dries rock hard in 5 minutes, and it stays. So I thought, wait, this is too perfect to be true. I bet you can't get it off your nails. I bet you have to chip
Something's
with
gonna be
something
wrong.
with a chisel or something.
Something's wrong.
Not at all. There's a lemongrass cleanser. It comes off so easy. It smells great. No acetone. It is such a perfect product.
It is really.
So I thought, okay, this is a great match for me.
Yeah. So I found Dazzle Dry. Similarly, I was at a trade show at iSpa, which Jane and I was so honored to give her achievement award there. And I was not using nail polish anymore because it was drying my nails, my toenails especially. I was found with aging, like they were yellowing. And I'm like, what about beautiful, just natural? Natural is beautiful too when you have absolutely nothing on. People just don't get used to themselves natural. They're so used to covering everything, right? And sometimes it's beautiful to just let it breathe and be yourself. Like same with overdoing your hair. Like let it air dry once in a while on a Sunday, right? So I stopped doing nail polish and I found Dazzle Dry, 100% vegan, all natural. I didn't believe that. I always believed that science had to be chemical, right, in order to work. I learned in the last 5 years of my life that natural science is so unbelievably powerful. And this chemist that founded Dazzle Dry is a perfect example of that. She took out all the nasties. She made a perfectly pure product that answers the need.
Yeah.
See, what do we do in marketing? We feed the need, right? And so quick, we don't have any time anymore. So who has time to wait for manicure dry for 15 minutes?
No, that's right.
You're
That's what I love
leaving, you
about-
mess it up.
Yeah,
you
so
put your
that one
wallet.
teacher's like, it's yelling my nails, I don't have time for it, screw that, it's part of beauty, right? But it's such a great part, I love getting a manicure, and it's such self-care and TLC, and now I can do a Dazzle Dry, which is a natural product that dries in 5 minutes and lasts, and so I've been a fan ever since, and if you want to take my toenail polish off, I got really clean, beautiful, white toenails under there, they're natural.
Well, that's sort of what I wanted to do with the studio is, first of all, when women come in, I want them to leave knowing just a little bit more than when they came in, and to make it really convenient for them. So they can come in a lunch hour, get their nails done in 20 minutes, leave it, and it's dry. And it's not this pressure. Oh, okay, I'm going to drive, and I've got to sit there, and I'm going to, because I hate that. So we even put little phone holders
I
on
love
the thing, so you can
that.
put your phone, and you can still.
She's feeding the need.
And then we have something for that blue light too. So
Yeah, we
as
do,
you're
yeah.
getting the blue light, we can deal with that. as well.
Exactly.
Well, thank you all so much. This is a gorgeous day in our wonderful Jane Iredale makeup studio. Heather, Jane, thank you, and let's go have some
Things
fun.
are always blooming in the Berkshires.